Welcome to Frost & Sullivan's Growth, Innovation, and Leadership Briefing. Today's event is Microbiome Science Creating New Growth Opportunities Across Key Industries. My name is Anna. Today's presenter is Vandiana Iyer, team leader here at Frost & Sullivan, part of our Tech Vision practice. Vandiana has over 9 years of research, consulting, and management experience with leading global corporations and government forums in the healthcare and life sciences sector. She has a comprehensive technology expertise across microbiome, biomarkers, liquid biopsy, and biomanufacturing industry sectors. She also helps support leading and emerging healthcare, life sciences, and food and beverage companies in developing transformational growth strategies. With that, I would now like to hand the presentation over to Vandiana.
Thank you, Anna, for that lovely introduction. I'm happy to welcome a global audience for an interesting webinar on the impact of microbiome technologies. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time for this briefing today. We hope this will be useful to all of you. Let's begin this conversation with an overview of the key focus points. In today's session, we will mainly be looking at how emerging microbiome technologies impact healthcare, functional food and beverage, personal care, and the heating, cooling, ventilation, and air conditioning industry sectors. We'll be asking a few poll questions during the course of our briefing, and we'll wrap it up with a summary of key strategic insights. Anna, would you like to begin with the first poll question for today?
Certainly. Yes, I have pushed out our first poll question, so if we can have everyone take a moment and select your answer, and we will reveal the results in a moment. So our first poll question is, which industry is likely to see the biggest wave of microbiome innovations in the next 5 years? Is it prescription therapies, OTC supplements, food and beverage, personal care, or home hygiene? So just a few more moments and we will reveal the results. Okay, so these are the results of our first poll question. It looks like we have 100% for food and beverage. Any comments on these results, Vandiana?
Thanks, Anna. I'd also like to thank the global audience for their valuable feedback. The results are not surprising because we are happy to note that the results are in alignment with our internal Frost & Sullivan analysis. We do believe that the microbiome technologies will have the highest impact on the F&B application segment. Thank you, Anna, for conducting that poll. Moving on, let's discuss the industry impact of microbiome science. Based on our recently published research, we believe that microbiome technologies impact a wide range of industry segments. While OTC probiotic supplements for gut health have been around for a very long time and will have new product innovations in this area, we are more likely to observe the growing use of probiotic, prebiotic, and symbiotic platforms for health benefits beyond the gut health segment in the coming years. There will also be an upcoming regulatory approval for prescription therapies across gut indications such as CDI and IBD. Within the F&B sector, microbiome-based ingredients will be increasingly used in formulations outside of the dairy case. More importantly, there will be use of probiotics in sweet and savory food products across the F&B landscape. It will be extremely interesting to observe how microbiome technologies also impact the personal care innovation industry. We see a whole new range of innovations originating from both leading cosmetic industry participants as well as emerging healthcare and skincare companies. There's already a flurry of activity related to new product development across the European region, and that excitement is likely to spill over to the Asian landscape as well. Today, as the average consumer spends more time in an indoor environment, there will be a growing need to mimic a healthy outdoor environment within a closed space. And there are companies that are already looking to introduce a healthy influx of good microorganisms within indoor settings to improve air quality. HVAC is the newest industry sector to get impacted by the microbiome wave. Let's go to the next segment. Here we'll briefly describe how microbiome technologies are likely to affect the healthcare industry. Key technologies influencing the healthcare industry are probiotics, prebiotics, and symbiotics, breaking regulatory approvals for prescription therapies across the CDI space in the next few years. We'll talk more about that shortly. Interestingly, there will be a growing focus on personalization of therapies. So diagnostic companies will work more closely with pharma and probiotic companies to drive custom product innovations. In the next few years, it will be very exciting to discover new roles for gut microbiota as key influencers of drug metabolism. And that will lead to a paradigm change across the global pharma landscape. While key indications of interest within the prescription medicine segment will be gut and gastrointestinal indications, there will also be a growing focus towards applications across the metabolic, oncological, and possibly mental health disorder segments in the next few years. Now, let's look at some of the microbiome innovations within healthcare. Steris and Rebiotics are close competitors with phase 3 candidates in the pipeline for CDI management. Steris offers an oral capsule formulation of fecal microbiota, while Rebiotics phase 3 candidate offers an enema formulation. Christian Hansen is another interesting innovator and a leading provider of scientifically documented and clinically verified probiotic strains that can be developed in custom formulations for targeted health benefits. Another interesting company in the healthcare segment is Zitra. It is looking to develop a topical probiotic formulation for healing cancer treatment-associated rashes. Needless to say, microbiome technologies are all set to transform the future of healthcare with several new exciting innovations. The functional food landscape, as is already known, is one of the largest segments to get impacted by microbiome technologies. While the availability of novel, heat-stable probiotic strains remains a key limiting factor for new ingredient innovations, existing probiotic ingredients such as BC30 from Ganadin, now acquired by the Kerry Group, will be increasingly used across several unconventional food formulations. Examples here would include the use of probiotics in bread, protein bar, and breakfast cereal formats. Now moving towards the functional beverage landscape, we've known that probiotics have largely been used in dairy product formulations such as spoonable and drinkable yogurt and infant formula. What we're likely to observe now is the use of probiotic, prebiotic, and symbiotic technologies for hot and cold beverage formulations outside of the dairy case. Not surprisingly, BC30 has already found its way towards use in coffee, juice, and tea formats. Imagine a future where an average consumer can walk into a coffee shop and get custom probiotic and prebiotic ingredients added to it for nutritional benefits. That's the kind of future that we're talking about here. There are exciting times ahead, and we will witness the growing use of novel microbiome ingredients for several unconventional F&B applications in the near future. Now, within the personal care segment, microbiome technologies will fuel new product innovations and drive personalization of skincare. The use of live probiotics on skin will be mainly restricted to a very few companies. For instance, Microbiome offers ammonia oxidizing bacteria in several skincare products to improve skin health, and S-Biomedic is developing a microbial cocktail for use in topical formulations. There may not be a huge surge of innovations in this segment, as it is very difficult to incorporate live microorganisms in personal care products and establish its health benefits through scientific studies. This segment is also likely to have a smaller consumer base because not many people will be open to the idea of application of live microorganisms on the human skin without sufficient scientific documentation. So postbiotics and prebiotics will surely be used in a more increasing manner for skincare products, and the key application segments for skincare would be anti-aging benefits, moisturizing, cleansing, and other skin health benefit segments. Companies such as Tula, Aurelia, Galenia are already working on such products, and they offer interesting topical formulations that help improve and enhance skincare like never before. Now, targeted antimicrobials that specifically inhibit the bad microorganisms will have a greater adoption potential from a consumer perspective. And most of these applications would be towards managing skin conditions such as acne. And Microbiome is one such company that's already working in this space. Now, there will also be new companies that are developing biome-friendly formulations that do not interfere with the commensal microflora on human skin, and they offer to protect the natural skin health. However, having said that, there is a great need to exercise caution while looking at microbiome-enabled personal care formulations. A lot of companies that are looking to ride on the microbiome wave without actually incorporating any microbiome-specific ingredients. Hence, it is very important to scan through the complete ingredient listing for such topical formulations and ensure that the products have certain ingredients that are specific to the microbiome landscape. Anna, would you like to ask the next poll question now?
Certainly. I have pushed out our last poll question, so if we can again have our audience select their answer. Our last poll question is, in the next 5 years, will microbiome technologies be a mainstay in products enhancing indoor air quality? Would it be yes or no? So again, we'll take a few moments and then we will reveal the results immediately. Okay, so these are the results that we have. It looks like we have 100% indicate yes. Actually,
wow.
We have a split. We have actually a split. There was just a quick update right now. So 75% rather indicate yes, and 25% indicate, okay, let's see, let's go back to it. Okay, 40% indicate yes, and then 60% indicate no.
Okay, thank you, Anna. That was an interesting observation. I'd like to thank the global audience again for their participation. It's really interesting to know that 40% indicate no, but we do believe at Frost & Sullivan that that is likely to change in the coming years. So now let's move on to the newest industry segment. To get impacted by the microbiome wave, probiotic technologies are being increasingly researched for improving indoor air quality. Now, companies such as Better Air and Crisol offer probiotic aerosol formulations that can be used to infuse a closed-door setting with a healthy influx of good bacteria. This will help reduce the incidence of allergy and asthma-related disorders. Panasonic has already developed an air purifier that uses hydroxy radicals in water droplets to inhibit the growth of pathogenic bacteria. Now, another interesting innovation in this segment comprises the development of cleansing formulations that can be applied to HVAC ducts and pipes. This helps maintain a healthy balance of good bacteria in home and office settings. Care and Green Excel offer such probiotic cleansing formulations. So according to Frost & Sullivan analysis, we do see a surge in innovations across the HVAC sector as well. Now, we've nearly come to the end of our conversation. Let's quickly summarize some of the strategic insights from this session. For healthcare, a US or an EU regulatory approval for a microbiome prescription therapy will definitely open the floodgates for new product development. Microbiome diagnostics will grow to be an integral part of healthcare and will drive personalization. For the functional F&B landscape, microbiome ingredients will be increasingly used outside of the dairy case and will enable targeted health benefits beyond the gut health segment. Personal care innovations will mostly incorporate the use of postbiotic and prebiotic ingredients and will also move towards personalization. So there will be a growing collaboration with microbiome diagnostic companies. On that exciting note, I'd like to end our session today. Anna, will you take through the next steps, and I will be happy to address any questions from the audience after that.
Thank you, Vandiana. So at this time, I'd like to go over just some next steps before we go into our question and answer session. So we invite you to schedule a growth strategy dialogue, a complimentary open discussion with a Frost & Sullivan growth strategy consultant, and a tenured industry analyst. You can do that by contacting us at 1-877-463-7678, or you can email us at myfrost@frost.com. And your feedback is very valuable to us, so under the Rate This tab at the bottom of your screen, please provide any feedback. You can follow us on our social media sites, LinkedIn and Twitter, to keep up to date on upcoming growth, innovation, and leadership briefings. Now at this time, I'd like to open up the floor for a question and answer session. Again, if you have a question, please type your question under the Ask a Question tab. I see that we've had some questions come in during the session, so let's go ahead and get started. Our first question here: what is the overall market forecast for the global microbiome landscape?
Thank you for that question, Anna. According to Frost & Sullivan analysis, the global microbiome market is forecasted to grow from over $80 billion in 2019 to approximately $108 billion in 2023 at a CAGR of 7.6% approximately. F&B applications will account for more than 90% of the total market share and is forecasted to grow from over $70 billion in 2019 to over $100 billion in 2023 at a CAGR of approximately 6.11%. I hope that is useful information for the audience and answers the question there.
Thank you. Our next question reads, will microbiome technologies have an impact on mental health?
Very interesting question, yes. We do believe that microbiome technologies will impact mental health. There is growing research that links gut microbiome to brain health, and Lallemand is one such company that offers targeted probiotic formulations that can alleviate symptoms of anxiety and stress. Thank you, Anna, for that question.
Thank you so much, Vandiana. As a reminder to those that have just joined us, the on-demand recording will be available shortly after we finish, so you can go in and listen to the session from the beginning. Moving on to our next question here. How will microbiome technologies transform the cosmetic industries?
Thank you, Anna. It's a very interesting question. We do believe that global luxury cosmetic brands and leading personal care formulators are already looking to leverage microbiome-enabled platforms for developing new products that offer improved benefits for improving skin and hair care. S Biomedic, which is a resident company of J Labs, is looking to develop microbiome-based formulations for treating several skin disorders. The company recently completed a Series A financing of 4 million euros with DSM Venturing, and this is just the beginning of the upcoming microbiome wave in skincare products. I hope that answer has been useful to the audience.
Very well, thank you so much. Now, what are some of the other major developments in this space?
Some of the other developments in this space would include growing partnerships between bio-CDMOs and pharmaceutical companies. One such example, if I may cite here, is the recent partnership between Lonza and Christian Hansen. While the CDMO space has been active with several new billion-dollar M&A transactions, the Lonza Christian Hansen venture stands out as it is the only one to be focused towards the microbiome manufacturing. The companies have committed to over 90 million euros for this partnership over a period of 3 years to develop microbiome-based drugs, which is reflective of the growing market potential of microbiome technologies. I hope that information has been useful. Yeah.
So I see that we are out of time here. However, any questions that Vandiana did not get to address today, she will take that offline and get back with you via email. We want to thank everyone for joining us today. Again, contact us with any questions. I've provided Vandiana's contact details, her phone number, and her email address. Should you have any additional questions or feedback, she will be more than happy to speak with you. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day.